My name is Jay Bridgeball. I'm a real estate broker since 1988. I've seen the good days, the bad days, and the not so bad days. My passion is to educate consumer about all aspects in real estate. Actually, I sold over $1.75 billion in real estate. Now, that's a lot of experience. I went through many failures, many successes, and I've seen many stories that you will be amazed. Not everything looks so glamorous as it is sometimes. On Let's Talk Real Estate, we will dig deep down and I will take you step by step through every process, from buying your first home to buying a multi-million-dollar investment property. We will have various people on this show. Lawyers, investors, we'll have mortgage brokers, appraisals, and everyone else to assist us to take you to that point. My aim is to break it down in such easy terms that you will be able to follow. So please join me every Thursday between 1 and 2, and let's talk real estate. Hello and welcome to this segment of Let's Talk Real Estate. I am Jay Bridgeball.
And Trish Browning.
Hi Trish, how you been doing?
I've been doing excellent today, thank you.
Okay, so let me ask you this question quickly. Do you know the difference between mortgage, post-mortem, and Rigamortis?
No, I actually don't. All I know is they start with mort. They have that in common.
I usually tell my client, if you don't know what you're doing, you really pay until you're dead. They all have that mort with death in it. Not really that bad though. What it is, a mortgage is really a survives debt. So if the mortgage is in a property and the owner dies, it still survives debt. That's why it has that component of it.
Okay.
Also, another way to look at it is that a mortgage is really money given in exchange for your property.
Okay.
So if you go to the bank and you said, bank, I would like some money against my property, technically you will be giving the bank your deed, and the bank will give you something called a transfer deed.
Okay.
Right? And the bank will give you the money. The law is after you pay that loan off, then you automatically get your deed back.
Okay.
That's why they call it mortgage.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So when you hear the word mort, post-mortem, rigamortis, and mortuary,
They all have something in common?
it's survived death. That's the most important thing. Okay, so now let's talk about what's happening currently in the marketplace. Interest rate.
Well,
We've seen...
Yeah, well, currently they're saying that the interest rate is going to go up 3.2% within the next year. What can you tell us about that?
Well, it's already 3.2%. And what's going on, we are expecting another increase before December.
Okay.
What that means is that it will be more difficult for people who are renewing their mortgage.
Okay.
Let's look at it this way. Assuming at the 3.2, you are paying $1,000. If the interest rate goes up by another 0.5%, then you will find that your payment will jump quite a bit.
Okay.
Right? Now, people rely on that last paycheck to buy food.
Okay.
And as that goes up, they have to cut some other area.
Okay.
Right? Jobs are not the best out there. So it's important that if you are planning on buying a property to get pre-qualified ahead, something the bank would allow you to lock that rate now. If your interest rate is coming, if it's coming time for renewal, then maybe you want to approach the banks and see if you can get a slightly earlier renewal. Most of the time they will do that and give you a blended rate.
Okay.
Blend mean you put the old rate and the new one into one jar, you blend it up, and what it comes
difference?
out. Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay.
That's what blended rate really mean. We were talking off the show recently about Equifax. What went on with Equifax?
Yeah, we were told that Equifax had, I guess, something hacked their system. There's about 100,000 Canadians. They're their information has been compromised. So that is very concerning because we don't know who has been compromised as yet. We were told that they're going to notify people, but in the meantime, while you're sitting waiting, all of these questions are going through your mind, and you've got, like, how this can affect someone later on when you're looking for mortgage, or you might have other loans. How can this affect somebody now? What can they do to maybe combat the situation right now?
Well, actually, in this article in the newspaper, we have a full article about this problem and what you need to do to solve that problem, how you can work with it. So I encourage you to pick up a copy of the paper.
Okay, so just say that we can't get a copy of the paper right now, like quickly. Okay. If I was compromised, what would you recommend that I do?
Okay, number one, the first thing what will happen, if your data was compromised, Equifax would have sent you a letter.
Okay.
They haven't done it now. They may do it in a few months. They are currently working along with the Canadian regulators before they approach everyone.
Okay.
Okay? Now, so number one, they will inform you. Number two, you can go to Equifax and literally they will allow you a free 1 year that they will monitor your information to see if there's any identity theft. They will alert you.
Oh, okay.
Another important thing that you can do, you can literally, it will cost you, not too expensive, it will cost you some money, where you can freeze your report. What happened? You call Equifax and I think TransUnion, and you said, hey, you know what? I would like to freeze my credit report. By freezing your credit report, it means that no one else except your current creditors can see it. Anyone else looking at your credit report, they would not be able to see it. So let's say someone stole your information, approached the bank to open an account, right, in your name, stating that, identity theft in a way. What will happen once the bank pull your credit report? They will see no report at all. That will make them suspicious. Okay. And they will not go ahead with that.
They can't go further.
The only disadvantage with that, however, is that if you are applying for a loan, you will have to unfreeze that report about 3 or 4 days ahead of time to allow that creditor to do their report, and then you freeze it again.
Okay. So you're saying that right now, like, Equifax would allow people to sign up for a year where they can monitor their report to make sure that there isn't anything happening, like with their information.
Yeah, but I'm not really worried about the 1 year.
Okay.
All right. What I am, my biggest worry is that when I am 95 years old.
Okay.
Right, and I cannot pay the same amount of attention to my financials. That's when they can take advantage. We know many old people are being preyed at, right? I wouldn't change my name, my social insurance number. I can't change my date of birth, and these things. These are in the hacker's hand, and can be used anytime in the future.
Okay, which is quite serious.
That's the serious part. So not really, after 2-3 years, nothing happened. We just put that in. We forget about it.
Yeah.
All right, and that's when that information will be used, not today.
Okay, so they don't hack it for now. It's for later when you've forgotten that this has happened.
That's true. It's like they have got pure gold sitting in a vault just to be used at any time. They can sell this to fraudster.
So, in your opinion, like, what do you think the average individual could do about this? Because now I'm very concerned. I'm very concerned if something like this happened to me. And I'm sure a lot of other people would probably get concerned. Now that you're talking about it, you're getting more information on it.
Well, first of all, we do have to wait to see what the Canadian regulators will come out with.
Okay.
I mean, Canada is one of the least hacked. There are more in the States and UK and then Canada.
So we've got high security levels here?
I really don't think that's what it is.
Okay.
It's that the Equifax still have to work out with the Canadian government as to what they will do or how they will handle the problem.
Okay.
And we are not number one on the list.
Okay.
All right? So that's the situation.
Okay. So it sounds like we're in for a long haul with them figuring this one out.
Yes, it's a long haul.
Okay.
Now, do you know that the real estate market, the prices have been coming down?
Yes, I've heard so. Yes,
Yeah.
I've heard so because for about 3-4 years it's been quite high.
Right. If you notice, around 1995, when the internet just started to take off, real estate price also start to go up and up and up and up and up and up. Usually it goes through a 10-year cycle.
Okay.
But we haven't seen that. We have seen that it's constantly going up and up and up.
Okay.
Right? Now, what happened? The government intervened a few months ago because it's becoming more of a commodity than a place for people to call home.
Okay.
Right? Most of the first time buyers, even people who are in their 30, 40, 50, some of them cannot buy a home because the price is so much and they cannot even afford it.
I remember 12 years ago you were 25 years old and you were buying a property then because you can afford it.
That's true. Now, you know, because the price is so high, you need a good amount of down payment or a great income to qualify to buy. And because the jobs are not really there and people do not have the down payment, right, it created another problem. So that's one good thing the government is talking about, affordable housing.
Okay.
And they have introduced different measures to cool the market. For example,
Okay.
foreign buyers. Foreign buyers are not much, about 5%, but they actually put a toll on them where they will be taxed much more.
Okay.
Right? Speculators, which I think is the biggest culprit in the game, local speculators,
Okay.
right? They are the one that cause the price to go up drastically.
Okay.
Just example, you want to go to the Leafs games. You call and there is no ticket for sale. It's all sold out. You drove by, but then there are people at the site selling ticket at twice the price.
Yes.
Isn't that the ticket has been sold out, but these
They
people
bought it
went.
ahead of time. They held on to it and they jacked the
Right, so
prices up
that
onto
creates scarcity,
it. Okay.
and that's why they can get the extra money.
Okay.
Just transfer that into real estate.
Okay. So that's what
That's
has
what
been happening
has
as well.
happened, right?
Okay.
But now that the government said that, hey, we will hit the speculators and everyone else, these
Okay.
people are returning their tickets.
Okay.
They say, hey, you know what? I don't need it anymore because there's no benefit to me.
Okay.
So
So
they're-
would this had was this with the new houses? They would just go all register for it ahead of time and lock them down?
That's one part of it.
Okay.
They will go and register for the home. The
Okay.
home is closing in 3 years. The price have gone up by then 150,000, and then they will sell it sometime before it close. They will sell that contract. That's called flipping.
Okay.
Really flipping your contract. You did not close it, you flips it.
Okay.
Right now, the builder gets smart. The builder said, no, we want a part of that pie as well. So in the
Okay.
new contract, the builders are saying, hey, if you want to assign this contract to someone else, then we want some money.
Okay.
And the government wants to know as well because that money not declared to the government. And in all fairness, I mean, it should be declared because you are making a profit.
It's a form
I
of
mean,
income.
we are all taxpayers and I would like that everyone should carry their fair share of taxes.
Okay.
It's important for our country,
Okay.
right? And most of the speculators also that they were buying up 3-4 properties, renovating them and putting them back on the market.
Okay.
When this news came out, what they did, they started to put their properties back up for sale. They got scared. That creates supply.
Okay.
What do you think the buyers did? The
Okay.
buyers sat on the sideline.
Okay.
I say, oh my God, price coming down, so no point we do that,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So that's what's happening. So what we'll do, let's take a break now, and then we will continue in our next segment. Thank you.
Hey guys, Grant here from Care 101 Media Group, and this is an outreach video going out to everybody with a request for assistance on your part. As you guys know, there's a lot of devastation that happened in the islands because of Hurricane Irma. There are families that are hugely displaced. Some islands are over 95% inhabitable, and people are reaching out to us, asking us where they can either give products or aid or finances, and at the time we didn't know where to go.
So in order to aid in relief efforts, Care 101 Media Group has started up a GoFundMe page where the community can now go and help submit donations in order to help rebuild the infrastructure that's been damaged through to Hurricane Irma. So, you know, going to the page, donating like at least $5, $10, even $50 isn't very much, but it will help, you know, our Caribbean brothers, sisters, families, friends in helping rebuild their homes.
There's also a call for certain donation items as well, which are personal hygiene products they're looking for. They're requesting things like baby diapers, baby food, clothing, things like toiletry, personal hygiene products, garbage bags, disinfectants, so that they can help with the cleanup. So at our office at 55 Rutherford Road South, Unit 205 in Brampton, we are set up to receive your donations there. So instead, you know, if you'd like to donate some items versus donating money, please come on over to the office here in Brampton. We'd be more than happy to accept your donations. We will be getting it together in about 2 weeks, and I believe the date would be September 21st that we'd like to turn the items over to the Consulate General Office for Antigua, where they'll be shipping it down to Barbuda for distribution there.
Now keep in mind too that as much as it's nice to give toiletry products and stuff like this, they also have to try and get it down there. But a lot of these islands have been so hugely devastated that they need money to rebuild and get supplies and stuff like that. So we're kindly asking that if you can please, if it's $5, $10, $15, $20, please donate, because that's what they need the most. They need to start rebuilding their infrastructure, rebuilding homes, and creating shelters for these people that are displaced. So again, if you can help, we greatly appreciate it. It's perfect here where we are right now, and we can only imagine what families are going through, not having homes, losing all their possessions, and literally not having anything that they know as home around them.
Welcome back, and now we will discuss a little bit about interest rate and mortgage and what you should do. So, Trish, you got a question there?
Yes, I do. So, you know, if I have a variable rate,
right?
Should I lock in? You know,
consider their rate is going up.
Yeah. Should I opt for something that's variable, or should I go on a fixed rate?
Very important. You see, the variable rate most of the time it's lower than the fixed rate.
Okay.
Currently, the variable rate is 2.4%. The fixed rate is 3.2%.
Okay.
Okay. Now, let's say the fixed rate climbed to another quarter point or so. It means the variable will also go up.
Okay.
So by the time the variable really reaches the 3.2, the fixed would have gone up, let's say, to about 4.2, give or take.
Okay.
Right? So you find the variable is always lower. My recommendation is to check out the rate of what you're paying at the fixed at 3.2.
Okay.
Stay variable, but pay that difference on your mortgage.
Okay.
So let's say you're paying on your variable $1,000 per month. The fixed at 3.2 would be $1,200.
Okay.
Stay on the variable and pay the extra money. What happened? Because that goes against your principal. And cause your principal to come down.
Okay.
Which is what you want. And that leads us to the next part. You have a mortgage. How do you want to pay down your mortgage faster? Wouldn't you like to pay your mortgage down faster?
Absolutely. Who wouldn't, right?
Usually a mortgage is calculated over a 25-year period.
Okay.
See, your first payment is almost all interest and almost a small percentage principal.
We'll go to the principal.
And over 25, it gradually slides to the next side.
Okay.
Your last payment is almost all principal and very little interest.
Okay.
So we want to change that formula very quickly.
Okay.
Most of the banks, if you go, they will say, well, here, go pay bi-weekly. If you pay bi-monthly really, you'll be paying 26 payments per year, right? Actually 24 payments per year, because that's twice per month.
26?
No, there are 12 months in a year. You're paying 2 times per month. So that's 12 to 24, right?
Okay.
Okay, but you had the right answer. The best way is to tell the bank. If you don't tell them this, sometimes they don't do it. You want to tell them, I want bi-monthly accelerated payment.
Okay.
By accelerated payment, you end up paying 26,
26 times.
payments. Right?
Okay. Opposed to 24.
Right. Look at it this way. If you pay weekly, we were taught at school that there are 4 weeks in a month.
In a month, yeah.
And there are how many months in a year?
There's 12 months.
So 12 4 is 48. What happened to the other 4 week?
They forgot about all the, the months that had
Right.
30,
Yeah.
31 days.
Right. So the whole idea behind this is to make sure it's an accelerated payment.
Okay.
Just that extra one payment per year that you're paying. Drop the number of years of payment from 25 to about 18 and a half or 19 years.
Wow, that's incredible.
One payment.
One payment. One extra payment per
Right.
month.
Per year.
Per year.
Yeah, 1 month extra payment per year.
Okay. And nobody would ever think that, right? Like
Right.
you would, but it's because it's compounded over such a long period of time
Right.
that if you start knocking it down early, then the interest is not rising on the, the whole amount, but
Right.
just a small portion of it. So small payments very frequently
Right.
is the way to go.
Right. You chop it many small chops versus one big chop.
One
at
big
one
one?
time.
Okay.
Now, another way that you can break your mortgage down faster is to increase your monthly payment.
Okay.
Let me explain. Many people, the banks will tell you, hey, oh, you have on your anniversary date of your mortgage that you can come in and you can give up a lump sum payment. So what people do, they will save that money in their savings, hoping at the end of the year to make that lump sum payment.
Okay.
Right? However, in your bank account, you probably got, I don't know whether you even get 0.5% interest. I don't know.
You barely get anything.
Anything,
for it.
almost next to nothing. Right? And then at the end of the year, you give them a chunk. You don't have to do that. You can go to the bank. Let's say you're planning on paying $6,000 at the end of the year against your mortgage. Break it down into monthly. Go to the bank. Say, bank, take $500 every month instead.
Okay.
You can do that.
So we're allowed to do something like
Yes.
that. We can overpay on what the
Yes.
the initial amount is
Right,
set
but
out
they,
for us
they
to pay.
don't like to tell you that too much. There's more
Oh,
work on
okay.
their end. Plus, they lose money.
Okay.
Right? Because when you pay that money down at the beginning, remember your principal comes down by 500. So your next payment is calculated over a lower principal.
Okay.
So then, by paying that money again, your principal drops more. So a bigger chunk of your money is going to the principal and a smaller to interest.
Okay.
That's why you want to do it every month,
Okay.
right? By doing it every month instead of waiting for once a year, you'll be able to break it down faster.
And again, it is addressing the interest not accumulating, for 30 days before you put something on it.
Definitely. And the other thing is not interest compounding on interest
On
over the
interest.
time, right?
Okay.
You are breaking down, you're working reverse.
Okay. See, I didn't even know something like that because again, I'm used to the anniversary comes up. Oh, great! The bank will allow you to put X amount of dollars on the mortgage, right? And that's
Right.
when everyone waits for. But little do they know that you could do this ahead of time.
You could literally go into the bank and calculate or let them calculate for you. Say, hey, I don't want 25 year. Show me the scale. Show me what will be 20 year. Show me what could be 15 year, what could be 10 year.
Okay.
And what you're comfortable, you can say, okay, set it there and leave it.
Okay.
Right? So what will happen, let's say you set it over a 15-year period, and then every month this amount is coming out, and it's 15 years you can be mortgage free.
Okay.
Right? At least you will save a lot of money that way. Right? Many times you're coming up for renewal on your mortgage. And you're shopping around because other banks might be
They're competing for your
competing
business.
for your business,
Yeah?
right? And they're offering you a less rate,
Okay.
right? Many people don't realize that if you want to stay with that bank, you don't have to pay a renewal fee. Most of the bank, when they send you the renewal form,
Okay.
they got in there that you will be paying a renewal fee to renew your mortgage.
Okay. And typically, what's that amount? That's
It might
hidden
be
that we
about
don't know about.
$100, $200
Okay.
money that you have to pay them to renew your mortgage.
For somebody that didn't type the paperwork.
But you know what? In the early days when I had my house in the early 90s, I look at it and I used to pay that. But as I got into real estate, I realized that, you know what? I tell the bank here, you know what? You are getting my business for another 5 years. Just waive that.
Okay, so we can ask for them to
You
waive
can
it.
ask them to waive that.
Okay.
All they will say, oh, you know what? Let me talk to my manager.
Okay, so
They
you can
might-
negotiate
Yeah, they will step out of the room, maybe have a cup of tea and come back.
and come back.
I spoke to my manager. It was tough.
And
but
they
you are
okayed
good,
it.
You are a good client of ours, and we okayed it for you, right? So first of all, don't get caught paying renewal fee,
Okay.
right? That's negotiable. You can get it out of it,
Okay.
right? The next thing is that what you want to do, I prefer not to transfer my mortgage from one bank to another bank because this is what's involved. If I, let's say, leave TD and go to BMO, then I have to get a new lawyer involved
Okay, which will
because
cost
I'm changing from one bank to the next,
money. Okay.
right? Chances are BMO will cover that cost,
Okay.
right? But look at it, all the hassles and everything that involve in the process.
Okay.
I will prefer to go at BMO, get their lowest rate, shop around, see the lowest rate, and then go back to my bank, TD, and say, TD, you guys are great. I want to stay with you guys. However, these are what my competitor is offering. What do you want to do?
Okay, so this is something that is
Right.
This is something that we can do.
Yes.
We don't have to stay with their rates. Just like when we shop around for anything.
Definitely.
Hey, we're price matching at the bank now.
Yes.
Okay.
So you're really a price matching. You go,
Okay.
you just look at elsewhere, you see what their rate is, and then what you do, you definitely come and tell them, hey, I'm getting this. You want my business. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to move, or do you want to give me the rate?
Keep my business and
And almost all of them would said, okay, no problem. We will match that rate.
okay.
Right?
Another question is the renewal fee.
Yeah. As I tell you, you don't have to. You can just
Okay.
get that off. You get
Okay.
that waive completely. Just
Okay.
tell them I'm not paying any renewal fee.
Okay.
You don't have to do that.
Okay.
Right? Now, we will be going on break shortly. And after that, we will discuss more about some of the financial problems people do have in their mortgage and how to address that. What we find happening that many people are having a very tough time paying their mortgage. What can they do? Maybe someone lost their job.
Which is very common now because you sign up now and 2-3 years down the road things drastically change for the family.
Right, or you got an adult child that is at university and suddenly, some of your funds are eaten up.
Okay.
And you're got in a position where you are about to start fall behind in your mortgage payment.
Okay.
Right? So these are important aspects. What people can really do, how they can really survive this.
Okay.
What are the options available?
Okay.
So after break, we will be discussing this, and we will see you shortly. Thank you.
Think you have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.
Welcome back. So now we are in a different subject.
And our new subject is what happens if people are having financial difficulty? How can they reduce their payments every month?
That's a good question, Trish. Many people, because of one reason or the next, they tend to run into difficulties from time to time, right? You know, I went to a client yesterday, and he was telling me, Jay, you know, I don't really know what to do. My mortgage is up here, my credit cards are getting filled, and I just don't know what to do.
Okay.
Right, so these are common in the industry as well. One of the ways you can do it, let's say you're living in your home for about 5 to 10 years, right? You are paying, remember, you're still paying as though your mortgage is originally over 25 years, but you have paid 10 years, so now your amount of time remain to pay is 15 years.
Okay.
You can literally go to the bank and say, Frank, I'm having a little bit of a financial difficulty. What I would like to do is increase, when we are saying paying off faster, we decrease a year.
Yeah.
In this way, we increase the number of years back.
Okay.
Take it back to 25 years or 20 years, whatsoever it is. And you will find that by increasing the number of years, your payment will come down.
Okay.
At least you will survive the hard time.
Okay.
Right, when you are drowning, you will clutch at any straw. It's not the best option, but you will still be in your home. You will be making less payment per month. And yes, it will take you a longer time, but at least you can survive the hard time. And in good times, you can reduce.
Then you can
again.
go back and reduce
Right,
it back again.
You can do that that
Okay.
way. Right, I find that many people, for example, Trish, they have credit cards, 3, 4 credit cards. Let's say they have a debt amount to $40,000 in credit cards. Roughly, credit cards about 19, 20, 25%, give or take, depends which one. Monthly payment in 40,000 is about $633 per month.
Okay.
Right? What you can do, if you go to your bank and say, bank, increase my mortgage amount by $40,000.
Okay.
Let's say I owe 200, make it 240,
Okay.
and pay these credit cards off for me. Right? The 40,000 work out to be just $193 per month.
Wow, that's a big difference.
Right? Because now it's amortized over a bigger time.
Yeah.
But now that's 633 versus 193 is almost $400 per month
Okay.
that you can use in another area.
Okay.
Right? You can literally take that, if you can afford to do that, pay it down on your mortgage again.
And I wonder how many people, might be in this situation and that they aren't aware that these options are available to people.
Yeah, these are available provided, though, that you did not damage your credit. So the key is to get this done before you start to get into the default situation and damage your credit.
Okay.
Once your credit gets damaged, then it's difficult. The banks don't want to help
loan you money.
because the first thing they do, they pull the credit report, they look at it, and say, oh, geez, this is bad. So one smell the rat, all smell the rat. They don't want to lend, right?
Okay.
So the key is to get it in the early stages, not the late stages.
Okay. So don't wait until things get very difficult. These are some of your options that are available to you ahead of time. So you want to go and address it and explore these options early, not until you're stressed out, you're behind on payments for 5-6 months to go and, ask for help.
That's so true. You want to catch it early.
Early.
But what
Okay.
happens if you're a little bit late? Well,
Okay.
What happened? There is another option that's called second mortgage.
Okay.
Let me explain what is a second mortgage. A first mortgage is usually held by the bank. It's called a legal mortgage.
Okay.
Let's say you need some more money to borrow, then you can go to a secondary lender and borrow money. In event of a default, let's say the owner cannot pay, then what will happen? The bank will step in and sell the home.
Okay.
And if anything left over, if any money left over, then it goes to the secondary lender.
Okay.
So the secondary lender is at a higher risk.
Okay.
Because the risk is higher, the reward is higher. Secondary financing is called a second mortgage.
Okay.
Similar, you can get a third mortgage, attached to your property. But as the mortgage number increases, the interest rate increases. First might be 3.2, second might be 12, third might be 18. You want a fourth, is higher risk, might be 25.
Wow, I didn't know that it would go that
Right, as
far.
the risk increase, it can go any amount, right? But
Okay.
as the risk increase, the payment will increase.
Okay.
Okay, so a second mortgage sometime will assist as well. Although the interest rate is high, let's say 13%. Remember, the credit cards are 19, 20% and more, and it's compounded daily,
Okay.
right? Whereas a mortgage is compounded semi-annually, twice per year, and it's something called not in advance. You got to compound it when the time due.
Okay.
So literally, you are benefiting even getting a second mortgage, although the payment is a bit higher.
versus the
right?
credit card.
Right, versus the credit card. At least you'll be able to consolidate, make everything in one payment, and then you can carry along until such time that two things happen. Your credit is better, and then you can consolidate the two into one.
Okay.
Or at that point that the real estate price have gone up, and you can literally go to the bank and say, bank, there are a lot more equity, that's the
In the
amount of money in my house,
Okay.
that it's okay, your risk will be less,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
There are some situation also with people with bad credits, what they do, that they may have a family member or a friend to co-sign for them.
Okay.
As a co-sign, that person falls as a guarantor, so the bank will use that person information to qualify the person to carry that debt load.
Okay.
However, the danger is on the co-signer.
Because they're now responsible for it.
Right. If that person do not pay, then they have to pay, because if they don't, the bank will sell that property, and if there is shortfall, then they will go on the guarantor's property,
Okay.
right? So
Okay.
you want to make sure that that is being taken care of as well.
Okay.
So that's a dangerous step that you have to be prepared when you're looking at mortgages.
So you have to
right.
know the pros and cons.
All right, you have
Of
to
what
know,
you're doing.
Of course, but there are ways, as I tell you. You know, if you are finding that they are too much, it's getting overburdened, then you want to do these things,
Okay.
right? Sometime it might even be worthwhile. I have clients that had problems where they don't want to move. They love their home, but financially they cannot afford to keep it.
Okay.
What they did, they literally get that home sold, but to an investor at fair market value,
Okay.
and they choose to rent that home back
Okay.
month to month.
Okay.
So let's say you got 200,000 sitting in your home, you got it sold to an investor, and then you're paying back $1,500 per month rent.
Okay.
You don't have to worry about a mortgage. You don't have to worry about property taxes. You
Okay.
just pay your utilities. You don't have to worry about insurance. You don't have to worry about repairs. But
Okay.
you are there. Nobody know. Your neighbor did not even know that you sold your home,
Okay.
right? Until such time that financially you're okay to move on, and then either you can go and buy your next home, or you can approach the investor and see whether they want to sell it back to you at current value at that point.
Okay. So if somebody is in that situation, you know, yourself, like you're a well-known real estate agent, do you have connections where, you know investors that could potentially help people in these cases?
We provide that service to our clients
Okay.
if they need it. That's a last resort though, because
Okay.
I always prefer the client to keep their home. If they can keep their home, it's okay. But
Okay.
if they are in a position where they do have to sell, and then the kids are in school around the area, and you do not want to disrupt them during that time, then this is a backup option.
Okay. Okay, that's the backup. I very well know about keeping kids in school.
I can imagine, yes, yours.
Yes,
there,
I have two myself, and I'm keeping them in school, even though it might mean, driving for about 10 minutes to get them there, but I'm going to have to make that sacrifice.
Well, that's what we are all about, right? Family is very, very, very important. Now, we spoke about second mortgage in a way that the interest rate is higher,
Okay.
okay? And we talk about it from a point of view where someone in financial difficulty is going opt for a second mortgage to help them along the way. It's something that does help. I'll give you this scenario. In the early 1990s, I was faced with that situation.
Okay.
Where the credit cards were high, and I consolidate and I got a second mortgage. And then was I think it's about 18% I was paying then.
Okay.
But what it did, it helped me to manage to pay my debts. And I rented my basement for about $700, and I take that and pay the second mortgage.
Okay.
Moving forward, now we will talk about how you as a homeowner can build wealth by lending money a second mortgage.
Oh, interesting. That's an interesting topic, and I want to know more about that now.
The whole idea about wealth building is that when wealth flow to you, it's a good thing. It's considered an asset.
Okay.
When wealth flow away from you, it's considered a liability. Let's say, Trish, you own your home, and the value of your home is about $700,000. You got a mortgage about $200,000. What most people do, they are focusing and trying to paying off that mortgage, which is great. But you got your home now fully paid off. You're laughing. I have zero mortgage remaining in my home. Great, I feel so nice. It's a good feeling.
Vacation every month.
But look at it this way. It's like having 700,000, let's say that's the worth of your home, of money locked into a dark corner. That's why I call it a piggy bank.
It's not doing anything
It's
there now.
down in that dark place, and it's not. It may never hatch. It's a nest egg that may never hatch.
Okay.
So what we'll do, let's take a break now, and then after the break we will discuss various options how to use some of that money, that equity in your home, to start to build wealth for yourself. See you soon.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Okay, welcome back. So now we are discussing about how you can literally use the money from your home, the money you built up over the years.
Yep.
to
So
build
if
wealth.
you have a home that's worth $700,000, it's paid off. What do you do next?
That's very important. Many people, what they do, they figure, hey, my home is paid off. It's time to relax. I've done my job. That's sitting on $700,000 buried. Trish, let me put it this way. Let's assume this is your home. It's a glass of water. And you get another glass, it's paid off for, and you pour some of that water into the other glass.
Okay.
You know, you have two glasses. Did your wealth diminish? It's just that you move some from this glass
From
to
one
that
to the
glass.
next, yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's the same wealth you got. It's your wealth.
Okay.
But what you have just done, you have created a vehicle for building wealth.
To get more?
Let me
Okay.
explain. You go to the bank, said, bank, I would like to set up a home equity line of credit on my home.
Okay.
What the bank will do, they will give you a line, a secure line of credit against your home, up to about 75% the value of the home. So let's say in this scenario, they give you a line of credit for about $400 or $500,000. You don't have to use all, but let me show you some ways that you can benefit. You are borrowing this line of credit at 3.2 to let's say 4% interest rate. But you can literally lend it as a second mortgage, not the whole amount.
Okay.
And I usually lend small amount, 25,
okay.
50, 30, 15, this small amount because your risk is spread.
Okay.
To spread your risk. And you can lend that at 12, 13%.
Okay.
So you are borrowing technically from the bank, from your home, at 4%, and you are lending it out at 12%. So technically you are making 8% of the bank money as a profit.
Yeah.
When you talk about $300,000 in this small amount, it adds up. It almost equivalent to an income of $50,000 a year.
Okay.
Staying at home, so your home is working, bringing you an income of $50,000.
Okay.
Right. So that's one way you can build wealth.
Okay.
Another way that there's a disadvantage with that though.
Okay.
The disadvantage is that over time money depreciates. Inflation eats money up. So you're lending your money today and collect it tomorrow.
Okay.
It's no difference than the insurance company.
Okay.
They come to you and they said, "Here, Trish, you know what? I'll sell you $1 million insurance. You will start pay us from today, and if you will collect 40 years, then you get $1 million." What they have taken into consideration, and we did not take in consideration, the long-term depreciation of money.
It's 40,000. $1 million 40 years from now, it's not going to be worth
Definitely, worth half
very
the
much,
amount, right, or less.
Yeah.
Right.
But yet our payments still go up every year.
Yes. So a better way is to put that money into real estate.
Okay.
For example, if you take 110,000, let's say, from your line of credit, and you buy another investment property, you find a tenant to move into that property, and that tenant, let's say, is paying $2,000 per month. You have just created an income stream of $24,000 per year.
Okay.
Yes, you have to pay your mortgage, your property tax, and your insurance. And that in your first year may not work out in a positive cash flow to you. You may subsidize it by $200 per month, it might seem. However, if you look at the bigger picture, you are way ahead. Let me explain. Let's say you are paying $2,000 per month in mortgage. $1,000 might be principal, $1,000 might be interest.
Okay.
So after the year, your principal would have reduced by about $12,000.
Okay.
So that technically, it's your money. You have saved that.
Okay.
Right? Now, the second year, because now it's 24 year remaining on your payment schedule, more money is starting to go on the principal, right? Less on the interest. By doing that, the second year might be about $15,000 off your principal.
Okay.
Also, each year you can go up a little bit
In the
on
rent.
the rent.
Yeah.
So you are beginning to gain. What we did not take into consideration, real estate, traditionally for the past 50 years, have been increasing an average above inflation, about 3.15% per year.
Okay.
So if we take 3% of 500,000 first year is $15,000. 3% of second year will be another $15,000 to $17,000.
Okay.
And that adds up. So in about 5 years, if you look at all those chunk, then with the way real estate is going, the value of your property has gone up. The mortgage amount remaining has come down, right? So what you got in between? You got more equity. And guess who is paying that mortgage every month in a way?
The tenants.
The tenant is paying that.
Okay.
Yes, you are paying interest on your line of credit,
Mm-hmm.
and you are paying interest on your rental property. But that interest becomes now a tax deductible interest against your income.
Okay.
So if you're making a decent amount of money, then that benefits you tremendously,
Okay.
right? Because you can now write that off. So you don't necessarily have to use mortgage in a negative way. You can use mortgage in a positive way where you are the one borrowing the money today from the bank
Mm-hmm.
and paying the bank off tomorrow. So you
Okay.
are taking the money now when it's worth more value,
Mm-hmm.
and mortgage you're paying it later, right? So by doing that, you can develop wealth faster.
Okay.
Give you an example. I had one client that bought a property in the early 1990s. He paid then $194,000 only, invested $50,000 in that property. He rented that property at $1,500, $1,450 around then, but goes up gradually. And he still have that property. Over the years, that property went from $194 all the way to about $700,000.
Wow, that's a big jump.
But that's not all the benefit. This is what happened. Over the time, if we calculate $1,500 per month times 12, $18,000 per year, times 25 year, he collected another $400,000 in rent,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And that's not all. What this gentleman did over 25 years, he took out money 3 times 100,000,
Okay.
bought 3 other properties, and he all are rented out for, let's say, minimum $1,500. So that's 4 properties at $1,500, $6,000 per month, $72,000 per year. His original investment was only $50,000,
Okay.
right?
So when when you break things down like this and you show people what's available, it makes you wonder, well, why aren't more people doing this, right?
That's because a lot of people, they are not aware of it.
Okay.
Many people are scared about tenant. We heard about tenants from hell,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And that's something you have to be careful of because you want to make sure that you have good tenant in your property.
Okay.
For one, I have some of my tenants that are 10 years, 12 years in a property, and they're happy. They want to keep my property. They take care of my property. But there are tricks how you can do this.
Okay.
Okay, I have our investment workshop that is coming up this Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
It's from 1 to 4, and we are holding it at the office in Rexdale.
Okay.
It's about 2.5 hour classroom style, where we'll be explaining all these details.
Mm-hmm.
How to set up your account, how to get the money, how to manage the money, and how to find and recruit and keep good long-term tenants.
Okay.
And there's a cost to it, though.
Okay. What are we talking?
The cost is that they have to make a donation, any amount they choose,
Okay.
to the Caribbean Children
Okay.
Foundation.
I think that's a pretty good deal.
You see, we just have 13 children in DR that had heart surgery
Okay.
just about 3 days ago.
Okay.
And we have to pay for those children,
Okay.
right? And my passion is helping these children.
So what more are you looking for? Because you're expecting a bill to come to you soon.
Oh, well, in this case, yes. Once the more we get, the better, because it doesn't stop here.
Okay.
With the R, we owe them about $6,000 more.
Okay.
And next month we have another, I think about 13 to 14 children from Guyana that will be having heart surgery.
Okay.
And at least that will run us another $25,000.
Okay.
So we need every penny
Okay.
to help these children. The Caribbean Children Foundation is 100%, money that comes go to the cause, zero admin costs, as you know.
So
Yeah.
come to the workshop this weekend. Bring your donation. The education you're going to get this weekend is going to allow you to create more wealth for yourself. So every year you can start donating a little bit more money to the Caribbean Children Foundation.
That will be
It's
amazing.
it's all about education and giving back and creating for ourselves, but sharing it with people as well. And I believe in the Caribbean Children's Foundation. When I've heard about the story and know where the children are coming from and the type of work that you guys do here, it's very, very commendable. And one way of feeling good about this is that, if we donate now and we help a child now, at least you're giving a life to somebody else. And, the next generation that's coming is going, you can leave something with them, right? Because it's great for us to give a little bit every day. You see somebody needing something, but being able to contribute to preserving the life or the well-being of somebody else, it's on a different level.
It is. It goes very deep in the heart. These families are poor. Some of them cannot even afford a plate of rice, much less getting money to pay for surgery. Right? It's very, very hard for these families. And they, when someone is sick, especially think about your little one is sick, right? You're in the hospital.
Yeah, I was just in the hospital
Right.
this weekend, and I tweeted that I was so very grateful that I live here in Canada, because from the time I realized that there was a situation, it took me about 25 minutes to really get him help. And in front of a doctor where I showed up at the Emerge, they realized he had a breathing problem. They got him in right away. The doctor came right away and took care of him. If I was in Guyana, if I was in a third world country, that would not have happened. It would have probably taken me an hour to get to a hospital. Then I would have had to deal with getting him through the system. And only God knows what would have happened. So I am very grateful. I have two cousins who, they were born in Guyana, and they had to come to Canada for open heart surgery. So I know what it's like, with children living in a third world country, not getting the help that they need. And sometimes, even if the families can afford it, there's a lot more that happens. So, my aunt and uncle, they could have afforded a plate of rice and, many plates of rice, because they did try to help another children. But she still needed help, because it wasn't as easy as booking a ticket and coming. You still need the organizations to help you organize this.
Yeah. Yes. Well, we are fortunate that we are connected with the different organizations that will take this to a different level. Currently, we are exploring setting up another center in Jamaica.
Okay.
And then we are even looking at another center, chances are, in Trinidad.
Wow, that's
So,
really good.
The children that cannot be helped in these areas, then we usually bring them up to sick kids.
Okay.
Spinal cord, for example, we fly them down to Spine Hope in the States.
Okay.
And we get these things done. So we have many things that are being organized. Now, if someone wants to register for the workshop, you can go to youhaveapiggybank.ca. youhaveapiggybank.ca and register for the workshop. Trish, it's been a real pleasure.
I know.
Rita,
Thank you so much for having me on the show. It was very, very educational.
Great. Thank you. Thank you.